going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new to archery, archery can be really intimidating. There are a lot of things to learn as you're getting into shooting a bow or even hunting with a bow. So for those of you that are really comfortable and have been doing this for a long time, this video is not for you. Maybe there's some tidbits in here, and I hope that you stick around and keep watching, but really this is for somebody that is brand new to the archery game and has all of these questions around where to start, and how to start building confidence in their bow and in their ability to shoot. So with that, today I'm gonna run through some of the key things that you need to consider as you're getting into archery. Again, if this is something you already know, or if you've been shooting or hunting with a bow for a long time, take this video and send it to somebody who's getting into it. Archery is exploding in popularity, and this is something that we need to do as experienced archers and bow hunters, is help these folks find the path from the beginning. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with number one. You obviously need a bow, some arrows, and some basic equipment to get started. But that said, don't do this alone. Don't go online and just order some things, because there's so many specifics about getting the right setup and right bow for you that will make a huge difference in your journey as you go through this learning kind of curve, because there's a lot of little details that you need to understand. That said, don't be intimidated. Do one of two things. If you have a local bow shop, I'm not talking about a big box store, I'm talking about a local mom and pop shop, go in there on a non-busy day and try to talk to those guys, ask them questions, tell them that you are new to archery and you're looking to get into it, and they will walk you through all of the key steps. Again, beginning of hunting season, as people are running around, these shops are usually incredibly busy, and sometimes it can be hard for those guys to really spend time with you. But now that we're kind of past season and we've got some time, go in there and have a conversation with these guys, and they will be really, really helpful, I promise you. If they're not, or if you don't have a bow shop close to you, ask questions to guys like me. Throw a question in the comments, send me an email. I would be more than happy to help, even get on a call and help you walk through some things as you get started in this process. So that said, let's talk about the bare minimum of things that you need to get into this. First and foremost, it is really important that you get a bow that's properly set up for you. This is not going online and ordering something in a box. This is often not going to a big box store. Now, some of those stores have a good archery guy behind the counter, but the key is you want to go somewhere where you can have a conversation about the right bow setup for you and what feels right for you. When you get a bow, you're going to have to get a couple of things. You're going to have to get the bow itself. You're going to have to get some sort of a rest, because these bows, unless you buy like a ready to hunt package, are not going to have those rests ready to go. And then you're also going to need a sight. When you're getting one of these bows, make sure that you're getting it set up for the proper draw length. Somebody at the bow shop will be able to measure your wingspan for the right draw length that you need. I also can help you and walk you through doing that measurement yourself. You just need a second person at home. So if you have questions about that, feel free to put a question in the comment. All right, so once you have your bow, the next thing you're going to need are some arrows. This is another area where it's going to be really important to talk to a pro shop or talk to somebody that knows what they're doing. The stiffness and the spine of the arrow, as well as the weight and the length and your fletching configuration, this is all going to make a difference based on the type of shooting or hunting you're going to be doing, as well as how your bow is set up. Again, it's not super complicated, but there's enough intricacy when you're getting started in this that you should go to somebody that knows what they're doing. So start with the bow, pick the bow and the draw weight and the draw length that is right for you, and then from there they'll be able to help you get the proper arrow for that setup. Outside of the bow and the arrow itself, the last thing that you'll need to get started is some kind of a release aid. You're not going to shoot these modern compound bows with your bare fingers in 99% of the cases. There's a couple of guys out there that do that, but again, I would highly recommend shooting with a release aid. There's really three main types of release aids. You have thumb buttons, like the one that I'm shooting here. This essentially has a clasp that goes around the D-loop on your string, and then a button that you work with your thumb. It'll actually release that. There are also hinge releases, wrist strap releases. I'm going to overlay a couple of those in the video right in here so you can see what those look like. But again, thumb button is a really solid place to start. If you're starting from scratch, is probably the one that I would recommend to give you the best foot forward. So outside of having the bow itself and having your release aid, the last thing you need to make sure you have is a target, right? You're not going to be shooting arrows into a stump in most cases. You're never going to be able to get them out. So make sure that you get some sort of target so you can actually shoot and practice this thing. Because as we go into the next part of this video, I'm going to talk about building up your process and getting comfortable with your bow and with your new setup. Once you get your new setup at home, it's time to start shooting. But it's really important that you take this slow and you take these steps carefully. At a minimum, the most important thing as you're practicing and getting comfortable with your new bow is that you are rock solid with your process. And by process, I mean your process for loading an arrow into the bow, making sure that you have it properly knocked on that string, and then ultimately going through the shot process as a whole, which will involve gripping your bow and aiming it down range, doing the actual draw, and then ultimately releasing that arrow. What I would highly recommend is the first couple times that you're doing this, get incredibly close to the target. So in this case, right, I am, I don't know, 10 feet or less in front of this target. Now, you can put your sight at the 20-yard mark or use your 20-yard pin, however you have set up. That's going to be kind of the standard distance that they set up your first pin at the bow shop that you went to get it set up for you. And at 20 yards, you'll notice that shooting this close, the arrow will be a little bit higher than your point of impact. But the idea here is to really not have to worry about where your arrow is going. You know it's going to hit the target at this distance, but really take the time to focus and slow down with your shot. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you've knocked that arrow properly. You're attaching to that string. You're focusing on a smooth draw cycle. And really just feel the bow, feel the kind of the way that it's set up in your hand, and take time and just get used to feeling that release and breaking that shot. Can't stress enough how important it is to just make sure that you are very comfortable with every step of your process in your shot. All right, let's grab these arrows. So once you really feel comfortable, you're not shaky, you're not nervous, you're not anticipating that arrow going off or that release going off, now it's time to step back a little bit and start working on your consistency and on your accuracy. So in this case, let's step back to 20 yards. If you're going to be doing a lot of hunting, rangefinder can be hugely helpful. If not, a yard is an average pace, so 20 paces will do just fine in most cases. So there's 20 on the dot there. Now, this is another tip that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and it's about breaking down your shot process into steps. This is really helpful and really important, and a lot of people skip this step and they end up missing things. So as you're thinking about making the shot, you want to avoid that entire shot blending into just a single motion, because in reality there are steps in that process that you can work on perfecting and honing as you build your skills in archery. What I mean by that is taking the time to think about each action that you're going to take as a part of your shot and breaking that into a step, and taking it as far as you're first learning how to do this, speaking it out loud. kind of phases of this as you build your experience. The first phase is going to be identifying the steps in your process. Second phase is going to be shooting and practicing while you're speaking those out loud. That will really help you to get comfortable and to hone your process. Once you start to do that for a while, you're going to see that you'll start to talk through it in your head. You no longer have to be at your shooting event or in your tree stand saying your steps out loud. But the idea is you want it to become automatic. And so as you get very, very comfortable, you'll start to say these little steps in your head as you're doing the shot. So as an example here, I'm going to say these out loud, the steps that I use in my shot process. And then from there, again, this is something that I don't speak out loud anymore after years of shooting, but it's still something that in my process I always know is there. And if I ever have an issue or something that crops up in my shooting, it's usually something wrong with one of those key areas in the process. So from that, this is my process out loud. So number one, stance. I'm making sure that I'm standing in a comfortable position. I'm ready to go and I'm holding my bow downrange. The second one for me is grip, making sure I have the proper grip on the bow. Third thing is going to be release. I'm clicking my release to the string. Fourth thing is raise and draw. So I'm raising the bow and I'm making my draw. Fifth is anchor. I'm bringing in my anchor points of my nose and the corner of my lip on the string. Now, sixth thing is sights. So my peep is around my sight ring and my bubble and my level is centered. Number 7, I'm putting pressure on my button of my release and then finally pull the release. That was 8 steps in my shot process that I'm taking every time. Now that was obviously much longer than a normal shot would take for me, but take the time to break down your own shot and think about what those steps will be and then talk them out loud. Again, stance, grip, release, raise and draw, anchor, peep alignment, thumb button, release. If you really take the time to practice and get your own shot process comfortable, it will make you an exceptionally more proficient archer. Do that one more time. Stance, grip, draw, anchor, sight, button, pull. And it sounds complicated, and honestly, when I'm saying it out loud, it feels a little complicated. That's a lot of things to keep going. But the point of it, that's why it's so important, because there's so many little things that are involved in accurately shooting a bow and shooting a bow consistently that it's important to break it down. If your process is just yank the bow back and go, there's all of these little variables that can go wrong that you're not going to think about. Now, when I shoot today, I do all of these things automatically. I don't have to say it out loud. But it's important that you spend some significant time practicing with your equipment and saying it out loud first, so it's built into your process. All right, so we talked about getting the right setup for your equipment, going to a local pro shop and asking those questions and building a community around your learning. And we talked about doing some of your first shots and getting comfortable with your process and breaking down your process into individual steps. So now here's the third one, and this one is really easy. Reps. You need to shoot your bow as much as possible, especially in the beginning. This is like riding the bike after some time. You need to get comfortable, and when you've shot thousands and thousands of arrows, it's going to become automatic for you. But it's so important at the beginning that you are shooting a lot and you're shooting consistently. So whether you can get 1 or 2 arrows in a day, or whether you can get a nice hour-long practice session, do as much as you can early on, being mindful of thinking through the steps as you practice, and it's going to make you a much more consistent archer. So for the last tip here, this is something that's going to come over time, but it's something that is important not to overlook. As you get more comfortable with your equipment and as you build experience in archery, learn how to work on your bow. This is something that'll come a little bit at a time as you start to understand the concepts of tuning and pressing and maintenance on your bow. These are things that will pay huge dividends for you in the future, right? Not even from a cost perspective, because honestly, having a shop work on your bow is not crazy expensive. Most of the times they're very, very reasonable to do this sort of work. But if you just understand how to work on your bow, you understand, how the alignment on the bow works, how the strings and cables are connected, where your lubrication points, where your contact points are on your bow, all of those little things, just having an understanding of how the bow works will make you, again, a better archer and a better shooter. And when inevitably you're in the woods and you do have an issue or you do have something that comes loose, you'll understand if it's something you can fix in the field, how to fix it, how to maybe work around it, and ultimately keep you in the field hunting longer. With that, thank you so much for watching. Please take the time to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I am a growing channel and every little bit counts, and we'll see you next time.